What's going on, people? Welcome to my brand new channel for 2K26. I'm going to be streaming most nights and producing helpful content for 2K26. So whether you're brand new to the game or an old head 2K vet, this channel will have something for you. Now, my unique style is that I specialize as a playmaking big man or a point center, and this video is going to be for all my big boys out there who saw the 7-4s and lost control of the blood flow to the brain. There are a couple of things I want to mention that I feel are going to be very important this year, and so far I'm yet to see anybody talking about these things. First off is motion styles. I think everyone has taken for granted that we had access to motion styles last year, regardless of our stats. They were only gate kept via our height ratings. This year, they're gate kept behind speed and agility, and from the builds I'm seeing on YouTube, even the best content creators are getting it wrong. These are the 6 best C builds for 2K26, according to Joe Knows and Joey2K. These guys are no mugs. They've been at it for a long time and they know their stuff. But if we take a quick look at these best C builds, you'll notice that all of them have very low agility. In fact, the only build here that has even a mediocre agility is this one with a 57. And it doesn't take a lot of research. A quick scan through the motion style requirements on 2K Labs for bigs, and you'll see that a lot of the better moving players require a fair amount of speed, and more importantly, agility. We all know just how important a motion style is from 2K25, but because agility isn't tied to badges this year, I believe people are taking it for granted. And if we adjust these parameters here to be a max of 45, because most of those builds we saw before were 43 or below, you're stuck moving like Santi Aldama or Zach Edey. Like, just have a look at this list here. It is not pretty. Do you want to be moving like Yusuf Nurkic, Walker Kessler, Alex Len, or Jonas Valanciunas? Maybe it falls into the none-pass style category thing where some of them are serviceable here, but do you want to spend the first 2 months of the game moving like a slug and then the rest of the game moving like a slightly more energetic slug? Even Brook Lopez, which has a 25 speed, requires a 45 agility. So here are some of the motion styles that I predict will be the better ones this year. Anthony Davis was good last year and it requires a 64 speed and a 63 agility. Drew Eubanks also good last year, requires a 51 and a 52, so that could be a good value one to aim for. Nick Richards was also good last year for bigs, and at 57 and 55 agility, that might be another good value target. But just look at the requirements for some of these. Even Wemby needs a 51 and a 54 agility, which I haven't seen from any of those 7-4s yet. It looks like 60 to 65 is a good target to have a good selection of potentially good styles, but the elite ones like Giannis, Vanderbilt, and Zion, they're going to require 70 to 75 agility. Personally, I hate moving sluggishly. I hate getting a rebound and then doing cardio laps because the player's finished by the time you reach half court. PGs will have to wait ages for you to get up court and set of screens, and getting back on defense is going to be painful as hell. Okay, so another thing I want to talk about is takeover. This year, people are all caught up in the fact that they've blended certain takes into one. So sharp take now boosts standstill shots and off dribble shots, plus it helps you get open off ball, etc. But people aren't talking about the changes to the requirements of these takeovers. Like sharp now requires an 80 midi and an 83. Rim Guardian now has see the future take built into it. So that's great, right? But it now requires an 80 interior and an 85 block. And if we take a quick gander back at these builds, these best builds, none of them is going to get Rim Guardian takeover. Not even the inside big that can't shoot. Poster machine takeover, that now requires a 75 vertical and a 90 dunk, whereas last year it was only 85. With so many builds having an 89 dunk for contacts off one, but then not being able to get the poster take, it's one of those small things that could make a build trash for the sake of one attribute point. Just little things like that people need to think about. My favourite takeover from last year, Blur. The speed with ball requirement's gone up from 75 to 80 this year. The Zach LaVine dribble styles lauded as being one of the best this year at 75 speed with ball. But if you can get it to 80, do it, because Blur takeover is goated. Even Paint Surgeon, it requires an 80 standing dunk and a 75 post control, but it also requires an 80 close shot. I've seen so many big man builds with a 79 close shot, and if they went one more, they would have got this takeover ability. Down the track, when people unlock custom takeover and then can choose whatever takeover ability the build has, and then choose stats to boost with it. But if they can't unlock the takeover ability to start with, it could become costly come custom takeover. So in summary, motion styles now require speed and agility to unlock. 65, 60, something like that seems to be a base level for a good motion style selection. Elite motion styles for bigs like Giannis, Vanderbilt, etc., they're going to require over 70 agility. The takeover requirements have changed from 2K25. Sharpshooter take now requires an 80 midi and an 83. Rim Guardian now requires an 85 block. Poster Machine now requires a 90 driving dunk. Crash Attack requires an 80 offensive and an 80 defensive rebound. Blur requires an 85 ball handle and 80 speed with ball. Paint Surgeon now requires 80 standing dunk, 75 vert, and an 80 close shot. So I just think bear these things in mind when you make your build for 2K26. They seem to have slipped under the radar. So if you like this content and you want to see more, leave a like, comment, subscribe, etc. I'll be going live for launch, so if you're stuck unable to get on the game, join the stream and chat with me, and we'll cook up some mean builds for 2K26.